Hi everyone, this is Inisa Ginjo, our channel, and today I am recording a new podcast with amazing Heather Courage, and we are going to talk about motivation and discipline, how it works for 3D artists in general, for people. But before we start, I want to make a warning that in this podcast we are going to touch such topics as depression, anxiety. So if you are vulnerable to such things, or if you're very emotional about such topics, so you can skip this podcast and I will see you in the next video. And of course, please subscribe to the channel, put your like to this video and share this video on your social networks. And now let's start.
Yay!
Yay! Hello, Heather. How are you today?
Hey Anna, I'm good. How are you?
Me same. So, what
Yeah.
are we going to talk about today?
Today we are going to be discussing motivation and inspiration, and I think it's a really important topic for everyone, not just artists, but everyone, because a lot of what we do, you need to have motivation to be able to achieve things. You've got to have inspiration, especially as an artist, to be able to be creative. And it's something that is, I know I always come to you and ask you what makes you motivated, what inspires you. So I thought it was a really good idea to discuss this as a greater topic and try and get it across to more people and get some feedback from other people maybe about what they find motivating.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, while you were speaking, I wanted to ask, so
Hmm.
how do you think what for motivation was invented? I don't know, by God, by universe. What for it was invented?
Motivation, because I mean, it's quite a human thing as well. Motivation, whereas a lot of other things are just driven by, animals are driven by instinct and they perform tasks instinctually, whereas humans quite frequently need to have some sort of motivation to be able to achieve the things. Or I suppose training, if you train an animal, you have to motivate it to be able to achieve the task. So I think when it comes to humans, well, people, I should start calling them humans, people, is being able to motivate yourself. It's being able to put that carrot in front of yourself to make yourself carrot and pulling the cart. And I don't know how it created where it came from, but it's part of humanity to be able to give yourself a reason to keep going forward. Otherwise, you're just going to end up sitting there on the floor with a cart sitting behind you doing nothing. And being able to motivate yourself is so vital to being able to achieve your goals and your dreams.
Yeah, I also think so that it was created only like in my opinion, the only reason why motivation exists is just to make you do something. Otherwise, you would not like
Yeah,
start doing
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So, I have a tricky question. Are you
Oh no, please
motivated
don't.
right now, please?
Am I motivated at the moment? At the moment, I'm currently working on a project with Anna, funnily enough. And I'm working on The Witch, which is going beautifully, except I am on retopology. So so am I motivated right now? Probably not. Actually, no, that's a lie. Yesterday I was not motivated. Yesterday I really wasn't motivated, and it was only after I got feedback from yourself where you went through some of the pointers and helped me out on some of the things that I suddenly felt motivated again. Like today I'm super excited about it. Yesterday I didn't want anything to do with it. In fact, for the past week I didn't want anything to do with it. But all of a sudden today I've gone in and I've cleaned up the file and I've been all like, now I've got a plan of action. I know what I'm going to achieve. I know how I'm going to achieve it. Now I'm more motivated to work on it again. And that, I mean, that just leads to the bigger question of like how people become motivated to do stuff. Where did that motivation come from? How about yourself? Are you feeling motivated? What are you working on?
Before I answer this question, I want to clarify one thing. So, do I understand correctly that first of all, you need to get inspired, and when you are inspired, it leads you to motivation?
Yes. In my case, yes, 100%. I need inspiration to be motivated to do things every single time. And it's that intangible inspiration. I think for myself personally, I'm a very sunlight person. If it's sunny outside, I'm very motivated and very happy. Unfortunately, I live in the UK, so that's very seldom. And at the moment, it's so grey here. it's so gray. It's been gray nonstop. So your motivation, your inspiration falls apart because it's just you want to snuggle up, you want to go to bed, you don't want to do things. And that's where I find you have to like really try to find that inspiration and try to find the motivation to do stuff. So yeah, I do. I desperately, please inspire me. Inspire someone be my muse. And that will help me no end.
Well, yeah. So answering if I am motivated right now, I think no. Like 100% no. I'm not motivated. I'm not inspired, and I think I can be inspired like
Mm,
very easily, but I'm not motivated already for a long time. And
mm,
I can explain. I think yesterday when I was thinking about the topic which we are going to discuss, I was thinking about why do we lose motivation, how it happens, what happens that you just wake up another day and you feel absolutely unmotivated. So like very often answer what we see on the internet is like you're just tired, you're burnt out, you need to dedicate time for yourself. But I think it's not completely right, because I think we lose motivation when we are not achieving our goals at the
yes.
estimated time. For
Yeah,
example,
absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
f-
I
f-
was actually, as you were saying it, I was thinking the exact same thing. What causes me to lose motivation and inspiration all at the same time is if I'm failing at the same task repeatedly. That's what I lose all motivation when that happens. So no, I think
yeah,
that's absolutely right.
it's like another like example. For example, you have a character which you want to create in your head. You
Mm,
have chosen a concept and you started making it, and then you see during the process that the character doesn't look same as it looks in your head, and you lose motivation immediately because you are not receiving the results which you wanted. Just a second,
yeah.
I need to change the battery in my camera.
Always.
So yeah, I think it's about when you're not getting the exact results at exact moment, or it can be about anything. For example, you want another example, you decided that like you will learn 3D for 6 months and then you will
Mhm.
get a new job, and the thing is hysterical laugh.
That's a really cruel example, but yes. Tell
But
me more about studying and hoping you're gonna get a job.
the thing is the thing is your brain, like for your emotions, for your brain, it doesn't matter that you are not assessing your chances like
Yeah,
realistically. You're not
yeah.
assessing the process which you, the time, the efforts which you need to dedicate, because it's like
Mhm,
quite difficult to assess this. And in your like your deep desire says that okay, I'm different, I'm completely different from everyone else, I will manage to get the job in 6 months, and maybe by the
mhm,
fourth month, by the fifth month, or maybe by the first month you start
mhm.
understanding that you will not get this job in 6 months, and that lowers your motivation.
Don't know what you're talking about. That's never happened to me. Uh, I no, that is it's such an honest thing, and I think especially for students when you're working in something like art, it's different. It's not the same as going in, for example, and learning, I don't know, how to be a doctor. I hate to use an example that I don't know much about, but being a doctor where you study something and the answer is A, B, or C. And as long as you know which one of those is the answer, that is the answer. One of those sort of roles. Whereas with art, you're never ever done. You're never finished learning. It's never the end of the trial. And we were just discussing this off camera, that the more you know, the less you know. And it's that awful curve, especially as a student, where you think you know a lot and then it drops right the way back down very quickly and you realize just how much you don't know. And that's the realistic point that you kind of at, where you don't just walk out of a course or a school for art and suddenly you are qualified and you have a piece of paper that says, I know how to art. That's not good enough. It's not enough, because you may know in theory how to do it, but you may not know in practice how to create. And it's a very different thing to going to school for something where you have a practical outcome, whereas it's more, I don't know, ethereal. It's more in the wind for an art degree.
Yeah, totally true, totally true. And well, I
Mm.
think if you're talking, I don't think that it's only regarding art. I think it's about everything.
Mm.
I don't think that is ever possible to set realistic expectations, to set realistic result, to assess like everything, because like you depend not only on what you're doing, you depend on what's happening around, and this because of these things, it's very difficult to set realistic expectation, and we fail with it,
Yeah.
and we lose motivation because yes, we
Yeah.
have this. We are waiting for a certain result at a certain moment, and it's not
Yeah.
something discutable for yourself, otherwise you will not have motivation, and motivation depends here. And when you understand that you will not receive the results by Monday, you start losing motivation of what
Mm.
you are doing. How do you
Mhm.
think, is there any way how we can like to reassess maybe our expectation, or to do something to get seem motivated again?
It's a really difficult one because there's motivation, there's inspiration, and then the other aspect to it all is actually just straight up discipline. So there's three aspects to it where you have motivation, inspiration, and the other aspect would be discipline. And having the self-discipline to be able to continue with something, even if you're not feeling flamboyantly, ecstatically inspired, knowing that you have to keep going forward to be able to achieve the thing. Many years ago, I asked you, what keeps you inspired when you're working on a job and you don't like the concept you're working on and you don't like what you're doing. And your answer was straight up money. And I kind of it sounds awful, but honestly, it's so true that sometimes you can't just latch onto the beauty and the drama of art. Sometimes you got to latch onto something really boring, like paying your bills, and keep that as the motivation to keep trying and to keep trying to go forward. And that applies to not just art, that applies to anything really. Like if you're not feeling inspired, it doesn't mean that you can just stop and sit down and do nothing. That's where motivation kicks in. Like you can be inspired to do something and not motivated. You can be motivated and not inspired. So keep being motivated, even if the inspiration kind of fades out, and go like, I need to do this because if I don't do it, I won't finish the piece. If I don't finish the piece, I can't put it on my portfolio. If I can't put it on my portfolio, I can't get a job. Those are all very boring motivations, but they do count. They are still valid. And having the discipline to assess yourself and go, well, the sun's not out today. It's really miserable. I really just want to sit and watch cartoons in bed all day. I'm not feeling motivated. I'm not feeling inspired. But having the discipline to go, but I still have to do it is so, so important. And I think that's sometimes the trickier part of it is just latching onto the boring motivation and just going with discipline and carrying on.
I totally agree, and I have something to add to this. And
Hmm.
I have like it's not secrets, maybe tips and tricks how I contribute to my discipline. It's not that easy. Everyone knows that self-discipline is something very difficult. I always ask myself what for I'm doing this, and I am checking what I want to have. For example, I want to, I don't know, I want to fly in business class. To fly in business class, you need to have money. Do I still want
Yeah.
to fly in business class? Yeah. I want to see my names in the credits of, I don't know, let's say God of War. I want to see my name there. Yes. Do I still want to do? Yes. And that helps me. That's a little bit recharges motivation when you think about what you want and you know that you
Mhm.
can achieve it if right now you will sit down and you will continue working on your character, which will bring you money, which will bring you reputation, which will bring you good projects. And but
Yeah.
of course there are some days when you feel like I just don't do anything. In the days when I feel like I don't want to do anything, I do nothing.
Hmm.
And I what I do during this day, I do something just for myself, for my body, for my
Yeah.
brain. I can watch some. well, I have some speakers, like podcasters, which I adore. Like my favorite one is Sarah Al Madani. She's amazing, and she speaks a lot about business, about relationships, about like everything in the world. And first of all, I adore her in English. She's Emirati. She's not English speaker, and I so much love the language she speaks. So even when I listen how she speaks, it makes me, I get calmer. My anxiety like goes away. So I do something for like my brain, for myself. It can be just working out. It can be talking to
Yeah.
friends, whatever, to restore this your not this society needed energy, or this
Mm.
achievements needed energy, but I'm restoring the energy of me as a human
Yeah.
being, just as a human being. And after that, I can again remember, yeah, I want to fly in a business class. Yeah, I want to see my name in credits. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to buy, I don't know, a big house in this, I don't know, in Los Angeles or in Rome, whatever. And then okay, and they say, okay, so if I want to buy a house in Los Angeles, what do I need to do? I need a lot of money. To earn a lot of money, I
Yeah.
need to what? I need to have a good job, or to have my business. To start my business or have a new job, I need to be a great professional. To be a great professional, I need to what? I need to make my skill better, to make my skill
Mm.
grow, because we have examples of like other 3D artists who are living good life, have own houses, own, I don't know, flying business class and so on. And okay, if they achieved, I can also achieve that. But right now, today, I need to make this character, make this character better. And you just sit down and do it. But again, when you're absolutely empty, for me, it takes time, first of all, to remember that you're a human being. You're just a girl. You just want to
Yeah.
cry today. You need to, I don't know, to wash your hair and apply the hair mask. Because you
Yes.
feel like, oh my God, I'm caring about myself, not about everyone,
Yeah,
not about
absolutely.
my job, not about my future achievements. I'm just caring about my hair. Just
Yeah.
and then you feel better. Like that's my receipt. Do you have maybe
It's
your own receipt?
it's kind of like finding the balance between things, because I go through patches where I think a lot of people do this and it's very, very bad. But I'll go through a patch of like, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna work nonstop. And then it's great. And then you burn yourself out every single time. And you kind of need to know when to stop, take some time for yourself, go and touch grass, go and do something for yourself that makes you happy. You've got to do those things to recharge your own batteries to be able to then give out the energy again. And like my solution to that is I'm very bad. I'm not very girly about things. So I'm less of the girly girl. But I'll go and do some gardening, or I'll go and plant things, or I'll sit and watch some cartoons. I'm a massive nerd, so I'll sit and play games, and I get a lot of my random inspiration from things. I wasn't feeling it this weekend. I sat and watched Arcane this weekend. I feel better about things. And that just being able to see someone else's art and being able to go like, oh, well, I can't do that yet, but I want to do that. One day I can do that. I guess I should do my retopology so that I can do that. And that's how I then just regenerate and rebuild that level of enthusiasm and motivation to be able to continue working on things. It's good to have like a sense of a physical inspiration and motivation, a physical thing of, I know that I want to have my name on the credits of a game. That's what I want. And that's my physical motivation. But the kind of ethereal motivation of looking at other people's work. And sometimes for me, I find that when I'm really, really not feeling it, coming to you, funny enough, and asking you about things and having someone to chat to, not just like, reviewing work or anything like that, but being able to talk to about art and going, I think that this piece of art is incredible. Look at it. What do you think? And having someone else to geek out over things that if I take it to my husband, he's just going to think I'm weird. If I take him retopology and I go, look how beautiful this retopology is, he's just going to be like, I can't believe I married you. What is this? But if I go to one of my art nerds and I go, look how beautiful this retopology is, and they go, oh my God, yeah, it's really cool. Having that to bounce that energy back up again is so, so important. You can't, I find I can't work in a complete bubble. I need other people to go to and go like, I'm excited. Look at what I'm excited about, and have them be excited too. It builds and it helps, and it'll help generate their enthusiasm and helps generate your enthusiasm. It's so useful to have a network of people to be a nerd with.
Oh, so true. That's so true. Yeah. And you were speaking, and I was thinking about the life work balance. And I
Mm.
think that the only way to establish a really long lasting love life work balance is when you don't need to worry about bills. But before the moment
Yeah,
comes, you
yeah.
need to get like enough of money about the for not worrying about this balance. I think
Mm.
this podcast was supposed to be about motivation, but it is about money.
It's all about money. But I mean, unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society. Unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society where a lot of our motivations are going to come down to money because unfortunately, we live in a world where having money will buy you those freedoms to do the things that you want to do. And which sucks, but it
Yeah.
is the truth. Um, and it's an important aspect of what you do. I think a lot of people, if you're doing this as a career is a career because you earn money at the end of it. A career is not a hobby. A hobby you do for free. That's the
Yeah.
difference. That's the massive difference between the two of these things. Like if we were talking about this in terms of like, oh, it's my hobby doing 3D art. I enjoy it. I do it in my spare time, and that's why I'm always enthusiastic about doing it because it's something I do for fun. I don't do art for fun. I do art for money. For fun, I paint miniatures. That's also fun, but I'm not looking for someone to buy them from me. Whereas with this, like, I do want to earn money out of this. I do want this to be my career. Yes, I'm passionate about it. Yes, it makes me happy, but I also want to be able to earn money and pay my bills from doing this thing that I love. And that's no different than someone who is a teacher wanting to be paid for being a teacher. So money is at the end of the day, there's that, the Maslow, is it Maslow? The hierarchy of needs.
Yeah. His.
I don't know if that's been reassessed yet, but I'm pretty sure money is on the top of all of that because it is what buys you all of those resources, all of those luxuries, all of those nice things that you want. The only one that it's obviously not going to buy you is probably family and friends and love. Maybe. Depends on where you're getting your love from, I guess.
How
But
much money do you have? It
yes,
depends on this fact.
again, I'm very poor right now, so like if you need, like, I mean, I'll send you nice text messages. Um, but having and being able to have those people, though, that's it's funny because that is the side that I go to for recharging, where it's like it's my friends, my family, all of those people that I care about. Those are the ones that are more likely to recharge my enthusiasm and my inspiration than money is. Money is not going to inspire me. It motivates me, but it doesn't inspire me. Whereas people inspire me. Do they
Exactly.
motivate you? You motivate me, Anna. I don't know if anyone else does, but only because I know that if I let you down, I'm going to feel bad about it.
Oh, thank you. You also motivate me. Well, yeah, I
Yes.
I usually, if you're talking about like outside world, what motivates me a
Mm.
lot, except of flying in business class and having a house in LA, except of this, what motivates me is talking to people. I don't know. I know that
Mm.
like in our industry there are a lot of people who are more how to say it, closed,
Introvert.
not, yeah, introverts,
Yeah.
not so sociable. I'm very sociable, and when it happens that for the whole week I haven't talked to anyone, I will be
Mm.
very much depressed because I need this exchange of real energy. I'm not a person designed to live in the middle of nowhere without people around. I really need people who I can,
Yeah.
I don't know, who I can go through amazing room and say, look, this basilica is so beautiful. Look at this. Let's
Yeah.
go inside. We will find the paintings of Raphael. Let's go there. So it's sharing these emotions is
Mm.
important. It's for me important. Maybe for other people it's not that important because I know people who just not so much dependent as me on like this like it's not connections, it's communication with other people. I'm very much
Mm.
um, dependent on this. And that's why, for me, the immigration as a fact was very difficult, because I knew that I'm immigrating alone and there are no people who I can talk to. I mean, I'm working from home. It's not like I'm moving to another country and next day I go to the office where I can make new friends.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Yeah.
moving to another country where you know no one. You don't know anyone, and you don't know how you can make these social connections, because
Yeah.
I'm not a person who can start a small talk just working in the street. It's not. I'm from Soviet country. Come on.
I love the
I'm not.
difference between us where like you don't want to make the small talk, but you need the communication. I'm brilliant at small talk, but I'm more than happy. Put me on a mountaintop away from everyone and I'm absolutely fine. I don't need people at all.
Yeah. So
I'm very happy by myself.
that what I was talking about. I think the first thing which we all need to find out is this: what gives you, it's not motivation, what makes you feel alive. It's, I think
Yeah.
it's not a lot about motivation, it's not so much about
No.
inspiration, it's about things which makes you want to continue living,
Yeah.
which
That
wants
that
you, which gives you the
balance.
taste of life. Even
Mm.
if you, I don't know, if sometime, for example, when I had COVID and I felt very bad, I was watching a TV series, don't remember which one, I think the Korean one, because I adore Korean K-dramas. I think that was one of them. And I was so not inspired, I was so much interested what's going on there, and I had like, I was in good mood despite I
Yeah.
felt physically, I felt very bad. And
Yeah.
so it's like some things you need to find which gives you this taste of life. And
Mm.
first of all, you have taste of life, and then slowly you can somehow restore your motivation. Like you will have desires, like having a house in LA. Why not?
The
Yeah,
house in LA
and
comes back again.
yes, and that drives
On that
you
note, if
to.
anyone wants to buy Anna a house in LA, she is available for it with no strings attached. Just go ahead and send her a DM and tell her you're buying her a house in LA. She is open to accepting that gift.
Cheers.
No, I totally agree with you. It's different people, and it is about identifying what you as a person need. Because I'm less of a people person. I don't really care too much about people. Like I enjoy very specific people. I'm not a group person. But on the flip side, I also know that if I'm losing my mind and I'm feeling grumpy, miserable, irritated, depressed, any like when you start feeling that really closed off feeling, I need to go do gardening. I need to go out into a forest. I need to go and touch grass. I need to go and be outdoors. I am a naturey type person. It's weird, right? I work in tech, but I'm a naturey person. But I like going outside and I can't do my nails because my nails are always muddy. I like digging in mud. So I need to have that like that outside thing. And I don't want other people with me while I do this. Like I want people to go away and leave me alone in a garden. And then I'm very happy. And then I come back feeling very good about life, much better about things. So you do, as a person, you need to find what it is that like really inspires you and motivates you and balances your thought processes, what unclouds your mind. Because you can watch other people and I can say, well, here's a list, the top 10 things that I do, but they're probably not going to work for you because I'm a different person. My brain works differently to yours. So, taking the time to self-analyze is crucial to being able to maintain your own stability and balance and all the rest of those things, which leads us to anxiety and depression. I think that
Yes.
segues really well into that topic, which unfortunately does need to be covered. And I think that it's such a prevalent, especially in the artist community, it is so prevalent. The amount of people that you can, I don't know a single artist that I'm friends with that doesn't either say that, they've got depression or they've got anxiety or a mixture of the two of them. How does that affect you, Anna? How do you feel about that?
Anxiety is my biggest enemy, but I can
Mm,
separate. I can divide anxiety into types. The first
Hmm.
type is anxiety about future, like everyone have, like super logical. And another anxiety is about things which should be done, which can be done today, but I'm keep on postponing them from day to day, like so stupid things. For example, another example. I had very bad internet in the apartment which I rent right now, and I need to make calls with my students. I need to make calls with my clients. I need to make ZBrush live streams, and my internet is too slow for these things. And the solution is you need to go out to walk 100 meters to the Vodafone, and there, in this Vodafone shop, you need to buy a router. It's
Hmm.
the it's like 20 minutes of your time should be taken to
Hmm.
get rid of this anxiety. I went to that Vodafone only 2 weeks later. Every single day I was anxious about the internet. I was irritated because it doesn't work well. And
I love
it's
this so much because I do the same thing.
you can get
I
rid
do
of
the
this
exact.
anxiety just
Mm,
by action which can be fulfilled less than in one day. And we
yeah.
can find a lot of such examples which you can do just tomorrow. Just do it. You don't want to do it because, I don't know, you are shy. You don't want to talk to
Mm,
people. You don't want to spend money. You don't want to, whatever you don't want to. But if you do it, you will just, whew, I am relieved. I am relieved. Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. And this type of anxiety you are it's not influencing you anymore. Of course, if you're talking about the type of anxiety, which is what I'm going to do next, if you have phobias, like I have phobia, for example, of immigration, still I have this phobia, or I have the phobia to die in poverty out somewhere in the middle of the street without a house. Yeah, like everyone, I think a lot of people have
Mm.
this phobia. It's like a little bit more complex. You can't fix this like in one day, and it influences
Yeah.
you every time.
I saw an article about that though, where you're saying like the phobia, the fear, the anxiety of like, what is the future going to do? Am I going to end up homeless? And it, it's it's not really an anxiety if it's true, it is
It's your future.
it is the future. It's just
It's
going to happen.
future of
Look, the games industry is broken. There's nothing we can do. We're all going to end up homeless. But if it's a rational fear, it's rational to be scared of potentially losing your job. It's rational to be scared of losing your home. Those are rational fears to be having. I don't think that those really count in terms of anxiety is more, in my opinion, it's something that's an irrational fear. It's something that you don't necessarily need to be scared or worried about. Whereas those things are like, it's genuine. Like I'm scared. I would be nervous about losing my job. I think it only becomes a problem when it becomes an overwhelming fear.
yeah.
Being moderately in the back of your mind concerned about the fact that you are replaceable in your job is normal and fine. Just don't dwell on it too much, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to cure these things.
Yeah, but anxiety kills motivation
Oh
100%.
God,
And
yes.
I tell the truth, I went to the psychologist with question of anxiety because that bothers me a lot. And sometimes I even have like problems with falling asleep because of this anxiety, because of the thoughts which they just run circles every single night. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
influenced a lot. And what I when I'm like in the middle of anxiety, what I usually tell myself first, uh, according to my experience, the 90% of everything what I was afraid of didn't come true. It was just my own thoughts. So maybe what I'm afraid of will not come true. It's only my personal thoughts. And the second thing is, um, well, it's not a good way to get rid of anxiety, but what I do, I ignore it. My way to get rid of anxiety is to
Dear
ignore.
viewers, please don't listen to our medical advice when it comes to anxiety. We are not doctors and we should not be listened to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the right advice is to talk to someone like
Yeah,
a psychologist. But I
yeah,
personally really I
absolutely.
ignore it to the point until it can be ignored. but I at least I will have some time when I can be productive.
Mm.
Uh, another example, another.
Anna's examples. That's what we're going to start calling the podcast. It's going to be called Anna's examples.
Yeah, it's going to be money and honest examples.
Yes. That'd be nice, actually. If someone could give me examples and money, that'd be great.
Oh, very true, very true. So example is, I think everyone already knows that I'm preparing my documents for the EB1A visa. It's visa of talents, immigration visa. If I
Mm.
get this visa, I will receive the green card, which is like a permanent residence permit in the United States. Like it's very responsible step to do, and I am so much afraid of this because I think like it's like another culture, it's another country, it's so much far away from
Mm.
Ukraine, it's very expensive. What am I gonna do if I will not find like a job immediately, just immediately? It's so
Mm.
different. There are like very dangerous districts and so on, and I want to move to LA, and in LA it's very high taxes and very hard criminal rates. So I'm already running circles around with the sorts, and I know that it can happen that I will not get this visa. Like it can
Yeah.
happen, but already in my head it feels like I'm already in LA, and that everything what I said is came true. So this is how it
Yeah.
works in my head, and the only way which I find like working for myself, I just ignore such thoughts. And when I ignore such
That's
thoughts, I
fair.
really, what I do, I count sheep. I count like one sheep, two sheep, three sheep, four sheep, five sheep, and so on. I really do this. I
Mm.
really count sheep. Or
Yeah.
I talk to
I like
people,
that.
because when you talk to
Talking to
people,
people helps.
you are like leading a conversation, and
Yeah.
your brain can't function in this way that you can both think about your anxious things and discuss
Yeah.
arcane, for example. It doesn't work
Yeah.
this way. You will be
Yeah.
concentrated on arcane. So
Oh,
I
I like
ignore.
that.
It's
That's
not
a
the
good way.
it's not the right way to get rid of the anxiety. Maybe it's a kind of solution to have some rest between these phases of anxiety.
Mm. So I would say that like because it's a very, very serious topic when it comes to like mental health and all the rest of the things. So just as a general thing, your mental health, I think one of the best phrases I've ever heard is your mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So if you out there are in any way struggling with depression, anxiety, and all the rest of these things, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to handle it. And by handle it, I mean go speak to someone, go speak to someone, go speak to a doctor, go speak to a therapist, go speak to anyone, speak to your mom, speak to your dad, speak to your friends, speak to someone. It will help. I speak from a position of having gone to therapy, and I'm currently on medication for anxiety and depression. And it's helped me so much, so much. And I know a lot of people will throw back and say, like, oh, being medicated for these things is a terrible idea. For me, it wasn't. For me, it was a great idea, and I'm doing fine. It's wonderful. It was a life-changing decision that I made. So, don't be shy to reach out if you're struggling in these regards. Reach out to someone and get the help that you need, and don't be shy to ask for help. Asking for help it's the biggest, scariest step you'll ever take is asking for help. After that, it
Yeah.
gets easy. It gets so much easier after that. It's just that initial hurdle of going like, actually, this is a problem. I'm not happy. I need to speak to someone. And then from there, it gets easy. It's fine. It gets much easier. And you know what? Your
Exactly.
life can be better. If you're someone that's struggling with anxiety, it's very difficult to maintain your motivation. It's very difficult to maintain discipline because sometimes when you're sitting with anxiety, you just burrow yourself so far down that it's difficult to reach out and grasp that inspiration and grasp the motivation and grasp even the discipline to be able to do the things. So if you are struggling, reach out. There are people that care and people that love you. Reach out to them and ask for help. That was my
Yes.
public service announcement for this episode. We'll move away from that now. We'll talk about something happier and more lighthearted, I guess.
Yeah, about something more exciting is, can
Oh
motivation
God.
lead you to run goals?
Yes, I think so. I think absolutely. Like, it, I think it's really difficult to determine what your goals in life are. And I think it's especially difficult when you are young. If you are, for example, if you've just left school, and I always find it ridiculous that you finish school at, 16, 17, 18 years old, and people go, well, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Knows what they want to do for the rest of their life. It's a very difficult thing, and you may have goals, and it's okay for your goals to change and for your motivations to change as you as a person change and develop, or as something new happens. The world is constantly in flux, the environment is constantly in flux. To have the same goal and never change it is incredibly rare. You must be the most driven person in the world to have a goal and just stick with it for your entire life. I don't know. I mean, Anna, you switched career paths as well. You went from one thing to another.
Yeah.
So, what was your motivation that changed that you suddenly needed to do a switch?
Uh, well, it was done very. I made this decision very open-mindedly, very easygoingly. It wasn't something serious. Absolutely, it wasn't serious. It was just a quick thing, which maybe I can try to
Mm,
be a 3D character artist. I didn't plan to
mm,
dedicate my life to it. I didn't plan to dedicate my time to it. So
yeah.
it just happened very unexpectedly, not planned. And well, if you're talking about the main goal of life, in one of my native languages we have a great word for it. It's предназначение, and it's the main goal of your life. But like in my languages it has a little bit different meaning. It's the most sacrificed, not sacrificed, the most saint thing which you can have, which you should do in your life. For me, in my language, it sounds a little bit more, I don't know, um,
Beautiful.
yeah, more beautiful and more explainable. It's not like a goal; it's something higher than a goal.
Oh,
And
you like your higher purpose, your purpose to life?
yes, yes, and I
Mm,
think it's very difficult to find your purpose in life, but I
mm,
think it's the most interesting part of your life. And I heard such a opinion that your, how you said, main goal, main purpose,
purpose.
main
Yeah,
purpose, yeah.
purpose.
So I heard the opinion that the main purpose of life lies
Mm.
in what you're afraid most of all. It's very,
Hmm.
I think, philosophical thing.
Hmm.
Like you
That's
need to
very
think what
beautiful,
you're afraid
though.
of, what of like the most, like you
It
afraid that you
makes
will die
sense.
there, that, and your
It
purpose lies exactly there. I heard such an
makes sense.
opinion. And I think while I was thinking about it, I realized that there are a lot of things which I was afraid of in my life, and I will be afraid of in future. But if I have enough courage to go there, to do what
Mm.
I'm afraid of very much, I get the best experience of
Yeah.
my life. It will
So,
be the best emotions, something very useful, what is very needed. And
yeah.
but you need to have like a lot of courage to go there. It's so difficult. I'm not that courageous like 100% of my life, definitely.
Yeah.
But there are some things which happens to you, like you want this but you're scared to
Mm.
death. example
Mm-hmm.
example like immigration. You
Yeah.
see, you think that it's the right thing which you need to do. It will contribute to your life, but you're afraid to death. You feel like you will die if you do this, and then you
Yeah.
go. And it at a certain point you understand that it was the right way to do it. So sometimes I think you can look for the purpose of your life where your the deepest fear is. So
It's funny because I was going to use the exact same example of because I immigrated from South Africa to the UK. I did it at the ripe old age of 21 years old. I left behind my family. I'd never been on a long distance flight before. I left my boyfriend of 5 years sitting in South Africa, and I just left. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified, but it was exactly what I needed to do. And the same thing applies. I was always too scared that I wasn't artistic enough, that I wasn't talented enough, that I couldn't be an artist. I am still scared that I cannot be an artist. I'm still
You
scared that,
can be
you
an
know,
artist.
but I'm still scared that, this is a really scary choice of a career path. It's not very stable. It's not very sensible. It's not a standard work line to be chasing. And I was terrified of it. But it's the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I know that it's what I was meant to do. I know that this is my purpose. It's never made more sense to me working in this line of work. Of course, I should be working in this line of work. I am obsessed with video games and cartoons and pretty characters and Disney films and all of those things. I've always been obsessed about them since I was a little child. I've always been I've never grown out of dressing up and playing make believe. Of course, this is what I was meant to be doing. So when you find that purpose, and I think that's also, again, ties into the motivation and inspiration, knowing that that is, of course, this is what I'm meant to be doing. It does inspire me. I know when I'm feeling really bummed out about things and I'm not really, not really feeling it, going and watching cartoons is one of the things that just like it perks me straight back up because I want to be the person that makes the cartoons. I want to cheer people up and make them happy. I want to tell stories. I want people to hold an image in my head. Do you know what I want? I want little kids to dress up as my fantasy character girls. That's what I want. I want to make
Wow.
cute characters that kids dress up as for Halloween. I would love that. It would make me so happy. Yes, I want to see my character running around in an animation or in a game. That's very cool. But having something that's got the lasting effect that a kid or an adult watches it and goes, I want to be that person. That person speaks to me. It inspires me. That character is everything. Oh my God, yes. That's what I want. I want cosplayers to do my characters. That's what I want.
This is such an amazing dream. Really, it is so, I don't know, I think it's so powerful because of
Oh.
the energy which
Oh,
it can make.
there's so many things that like I watched as a kid and I held on to and that I just want to have that same emotional impact on random strangers across the world. How much more magical could your life be? And again, how could you be disappointed in working in this career path? How could you not be thrilled to be doing it with those are the options? It's the same as, I don't know, a doctor being able to, your option is you can save a life. And I feel the same way that my piece of art may reach someone, impact them emotionally, and inspire them and make them go, actually, today's a good day. Today's a wonderful day. Today's an interesting day. Maybe I make something really gory and gross and they just go, today's a scary day. But but having that impact on people, being able to tell a story, being able to reach people's feelings, God, what an amazing thing to be able to do. It's so special. We're so lucky to be able to do these things.
While I was listening to you, a question in my head emerged which I wanted to ask, and it is, do you believe in destiny? That each person has destiny?
Ooh. Um, I think that there's possibly destiny, but you also have the ability to just not listen to it. You can have a
Wow.
destiny that you choose not to do. You can change your mind about it and go do something else. And I think that you'll never ever know what your destiny is because even if you fully 100% believe that that's what you are meant to do, maybe something else comes up. Again, the world changes, things change, your purpose changes, your motivation changes. And being able to, instead of, if you find that you're in a position where, for example, I'm very, very happy working what I'm doing, I love it. If something else happens, I don't know, AI, something happens, and I go, actually, I'm butting my head against the brick wall here. It's no longer making me happy. I no longer have those feelings of passion. I don't feel that anymore. I now feel that for some. You're allowed to change. You're always allowed to
Mm-hmm.
change. You're always allowed to. Do you believe in destiny? Is this your destiny?
I 100% believe in destiny, 100, even more than 100. I'm pretty sure that really is not my destiny.
No.
100%. No, I'm pretty sure that's being
Ooh.
just a 3D character artist is not my destiny. It's what I like, but
Mm,
it's not my destiny. And uh, I think that like the main goal of life, like if you just in average say, is to live a life in the end of which you will say that, oh my God, that was great life. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy that all the challenges, all the good things, all the bad things which I had in my life, they were in my life. And I think that if you feel miserable for a really long period of time, that's because
Change
you
it.
are ignoring the signs of destiny.
Yeah.
You are ignoring
Yeah,
because
I agree with 100%. If you are feeling, if you keep butting your head and you are feeling like it's not working, you, it's the strangest thing. So in my past life, in my previous career path, I knew it wasn't the right thing. I was happy doing it. It was nice. I had nice friends. I enjoyed it. I made a lot of money. Those things were nice. I didn't feel about that career the way that I feel about this one. It's genuine. It's the strangest and it's a stupid thing to compare it to, but it's like when you're with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner and you like them, you love them, but you're not in love with them.
yeah.
Whereas now I know I am so in love with this career path. Oh my God, I love it so much. So much. Even when I'm doing retopology, I love it. Which is saying a lot. But finding that for yourself is also it's so valuable and it's so important. And it's also okay to this has gone off tangent entirely, but it's also okay for you to recognize within yourself when it's not working out and when it's not happening. And it's difficult. This is a very different topic to what we started out on, but it's very difficult for a person to step back and go, actually, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't where I needed to be in my life. And I did that at the whopping age of 34, 33, something like that. I changed my mind. I changed my career path. And it was terrifying and it was very dangerous for me to do that. And I'm still have days where I question my sanity. But being able to look at it and go, I'm not where I wanted to be. I'm not happy where I am. I now need to change. Make the change. For God's sake, just make the change. It's so worth it. It's 100% worth it. Don't worry about how old you are or what situation you're in. Just make the change.
And maybe, what also wanted to add that I think that how the destiny, oh my God, this podcast is going to,
We're not
no,
even
no,
sure what the title of this is anymore.
yeah,
Motivation and destiny and
yeah,
money.
it's so weird. But what I think about destiny, I think that at first it talks to you in a whisper, then it talks to you like in a voice, and then it shouts with attitude for you to understand, and it gives you these challenges, more and more until you just hear. Sometimes I don't know what to compare to, but in my life I had thousands of such situations when later I realized, that what was meant, that I need to go. Like very simple example with Italian. Again, I don't think that Italy is a country where I will live forever, but
Mm.
when I was a child, my mom decided that I'm going to learn English because you need to know international language. I was learning English. At some point, I don't know why. I'm not a person who, like, I was born in Soviet Union. I was educated after the Soviet Union, but still,
I
it was
always
like
wondered why you
within.
suddenly learned Italian of all the languages.
Yes, and I remember I was at school, and my mom wanted me to learn like a second language German. I didn't want, but I wanted to learn Italian. No idea why. I didn't know how even sounds Italian. I liked that how like my one of my first languages is Russian. In Russian, Italian, the
Mhm.
word is Italiansky, and I really liked how it sounds this
Really?
Italiansky in Russian. I really liked that, and that's why I wanted to learn Italian. Mom said, "Come on, the only Italy speaks Italian. Why Italian? Why
Yeah.
Italy? Why? Come on." Then I went to the university and I wanted to learn French or Spanish. I didn't think about Italian. And I managed to, well, we had a choice to choose a language, a second language to learn. I graduated in foreign languages. And I don't know why they were like, they needed to create one group of people who study Italian. There were like 200 people in my year, and they needed like 16 people to learn Italian. So they, among all the people, they just chose 16 people to make this group of Italian language, and I was in that group. And I remember that I was thinking, Italian, why? I don't want to learn Italian. I will transfer to the group of French. And while I was
Yeah.
standing in the line of everyone who wanted to change the language to French, it was such a long line. And I said, okay, I don't want to stay in this line for hours. Italian, then
Oh
Italian.
my God, what a weird, yeah, coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence.
Yes, such things happens to me very often. Like another
Mm.
example, I have a lot of example about like countries, for example, about like let's say about United States, because right now I'm getting my documents to get this like green card there.
Yeah.
So the first sign was when I applied for the travel visa. It was,
Hmm.
I never wanted to go to United States. It wasn't like my dream country, but I remember I applied for this travel visa. Uh, let's say I didn't plan too much to go there. I just wanted to have like the visa just in case,
Yeah.
and I got it like very simple, very simple.
Yeah.
While other people were refused, not were rejected from this visa, like
Yeah.
a lot, and I got that very simple. Another, and I didn't go. I didn't go there. Next, I just had visa. I was looking at this visa for 10 years. It's valid for 10 years, and every year I was looking, maybe not this year, not this year, not this year. Yeah. And at university, we had this like program, like work and travel, that you can free of charge go to the United States for your summer holidays and work there, and then to go back. I ignored it. I ignored it. A lot of my
Oh
friends
my God.
used this program and went there to just travel and work in the United States, and they
Yeah.
returned. I just ignored it. Another thing was when after the graduation of university, from the university, I wanted to study somewhere abroad. And I
Hmm.
entered American University in Italy.
How
Yes,
strange.
yes.
Oh my God, that's
I
so
went to
weird.
scholarship. I went to scholarship. It was like 25%. Not, I wanted
Yeah.
to win like 50%. I want only 25, and I didn't go. Next thing was when and last year when I received a message from Adobe when they invited me to go to the GDC conference to San Francisco, and I ignored that message 3 times. They sent me 3 follow-ups, and I
Anna.
no, before that.
Oh,
Okay, let's finish with this one. They sent me 3 follow-ups, and that was December. It was near my birthday, near the New Year, Christmas, and I was thinking, come on, Adobe, it must be fraud. It's not them, 100%.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not them.
Okay, fair.
It's like some bad people. But then I answered. We had a call, and then I realized that they're really taking me there to the United States, and I fly to United States. Another thing about this United States, which was with me, like before this GDC, when I came back from Italy to Ukraine, when the war started, I was in Ukraine. I received a message from Riot Games, which were offering me a position in Riot Games, and they were ready to bring me to United States. And I said, no, I don't want to go to the United States. And then I fly to the United States to the conference. I was shocked.
Anna.
And like about two
Oh,
months later, I said, okay, maybe I should apply to the immigration visa.
which is just a reminder to everyone that when you get sent an offer, first of all, make sure it's not fraud. But secondly, maybe just say yes. Maybe just say yes and give it a try. Who knows?
Well,
Maybe you'll end
it's
up working
well.
for
Let's
Riot
say it's
Day.
not an offer. That was an opportunity. They wanted me to go there. It's
Yeah.
not like I refused even from the interview. It was like
Oh,
yeah,
oh, what a shame. Oh my God.
yeah.
No.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's like signs of destiny which sometimes
Yeah,
tell you maybe you should go there, maybe here, maybe here, and I
maybe you
don't
should
know
try
what's
it.
going to be in future. But at one point I analyzed how many signs were in my life which were
Hmm.
trying to bring me there. Maybe it means something, I don't know. Let's try, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's true. There's always like little things hinting towards where you should be going, and it's whether or not you pick up and actually follow those.
Exactly,
So this
exactly.
topic has gone completely off topic, which is
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah, but it was so cool. And actually, returning to motivation, inspiration, like the last thing which I think we need to say, I will give you the floor first. Maybe
Ah,
maybe you have some words about. I'm saying something wrong. I was thinking, I was thinking in Russian, and then I was speaking in English. So, do you have any motivational words which you want to tell to our audience before we proceed to our art showcase?
God. It's so difficult to think of motivational words straight off the top of my head. What would I need someone to tell me to motivate me? I think it's really difficult because like everyone just needs a different thing. You never know what it is that's going to touch each person and motivate them. I think if you're looking for motivation and you're not sure about yourself, if you're feeling unsure or unsettled, I use me as an example. Feel free to use me as an example. I changed my career path. I made a very dodgy jump from one fairly well paid career to another, which has so far not paid off quite so well, but we're getting there. And I don't regret it. Find your own motivation in yourself, find your own motivation in what you do. And if you're not loving it, do something else.
I
That's a
think that's
terrible
great words.
motivation. Terrible motivation. I think it's your turn. I managed to close off the episode last
I
week. So
have
it's your
like
turn.
what I wanted to say about like motivational words to people is nothing lasts forever. Today you're going to be motivated. Tomorrow you're not going to be
Mm.
motivated. But the thing is, even this period when you're anxious, when you're like very under the blue, when you feel very bad, it will pass
Mm.
because nothing lasts forever. And life consists of like good periods, bad periods, it's like obvious. But for me, I think it's very important to remind myself that today I'm very miserable, but tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe next month, there will be day when I will say, "Oh my God, today I'm the happiest person in the world." But then
Oh,
it will happen again. Your life consists of such things, so it's
I like that.
no, it's no, it has no, it makes no sense to think that something what you have right now is going to be forever. It's going to be over. And it's very nice to know when you feel like very bad and you think that it's like then it's the worst what can happen in your life. You need to remind you that it will pass.
I
It
like that.
I think
Those are good words. Those are useful words. I like those ones. You can cut my ones and just use yours. Yours are good words. So
uh,
we're trying to incorporate something new to the podcast where we
yeah.
are showcasing other people's work and trying to get it because a lot of people, you struggle as an artist to get your work in front of other people's eyes. And so we wanted to help facilitate that for as many people as we possibly could. So Anna, who are you showcasing this week?
How it's going to be? I'm going to showcase, first of all, an established artist whose work I like, adore, and then I will show the work which I like from a junior artist. So you can see both, like one of the like experienced artist work, which I really like. Why, if I like someone's work, I will show it, and then we'll see the junior artist work.
That's
So
cool.
let's first of all talk about one of my favorite artists who is established artist. He's Vadim B. He's full of
I was
he,
thinking about using him, but I was like, no, Anna's gonna choose that.
exactly. It's Vadim Bakhlichev. He worked in Blizzard. He worked in Riot Games. He was he right now he works in Elodie on Secrets of Skywale, and I had an opportunity to work with him and to make characters for this game. And I chose him not only because I adore his works. He is. I think, as far as I remember, he has traditional education in art, and it's so much seen in each of his character, because to my opinion his characters are always perfect. Whatever character he does, I use his characters as reference for a lot of my characters, and I think he's doing such a great job in game dev in 3D, and he's such a good example of quality of a 3D character artist. That's why I chose him. And the second thing, as the Secrets of Skywell is created by Elodie Games. Elodie Games is like an indie game dev company created by people who were working in like Blizzard in Riot Games, and I totally support this company and I support this game, and I want to when this game is released, I want like a lot of people, a big audience of people to see this game and to play it. And so that's my contribution to, I don't know,
to just the two of us playing it when it comes out, because I've seen the art that's coming through from it and it looks absolutely beautiful. And of course, are these artists that were laid off from jobs within the industry already? Is that how they've built the studio?
Yeah.
Question. So yeah, it's supporting people that have, potentially started up new indie studios on the back of all the layoffs that have happened. I think it's really important just to be able to support those guys. What they're doing is really, really amazing. And yeah, I'm excited for that game coming out. I've seen Vadim's work and it's beautiful. He's a very, very, very talented artist.
Yeah, and I want to show one more character from this game, which he has. And this one, he's amazing. I made four outfits for this game, and 100% it was one of the best. I don't know how to say works. One of the company where I work was Darda Studio. It was outsourced company, and their clients were these Elodie Games, and it was like the best employer, the best workplace where I worked. So I hope that this game will get more people to play it. And the junior artist, thank you. And the junior artist which I want to showcase is Nina Tron.
Isn't that one of your students?
Yes, it's my student.
I follow her on a lot of things.
I need to follow her back. Come on.
Anna.
She is American. She lives in Canada, and she was my student at her last term at Think Tank Training Center. I was her mentor, so we were making this character all together. It took us about, I think, half a year to finish this character. This is low poly model. She sculpted this character. She's really junior artist. She didn't have any experience in 3D like before.
Oh my God, that's
yes,
amazing. Because I've seen the piece of work and I think it's been showcased on other places as well. It's just incredibly good. It's beautiful. Her work is very, very pretty.
She is very cool, and I will tell a couple of words how this character was done, because I know how it was done. It was done under my mentorship, so she was sculpted fully in that brush. The skirt was simulated in Marvelous Designer. Retopologized in Maya. UVs were done, as far as I remember, also in Maya. Baking in Marmoset, texturing in Substance Painter, and the final render was done in Marmoset. Oh, she has also showcased her with the reel. I didn't know. Yeah, she rendered that. That was done like she didn't show already this reel to me. It's really
She's
great.
an incredibly talented artist.
Yeah,
you can see that the quality of her work is really, really good.
she spent a lot of time. She worried a lot, and like everything is done very good. She's a junior artist, and I really hope that she will find job as soon as possible, because she's so hardworking. She deserves getting the job in the industry. She's going to be a great contribution to any team. So you can see, oh my God, that's what. Ah, that's maybe a substance designer. So she made a custom lace in substance designer. Come on. So
She is,
that's
you
cool.
can see that she's someone that's like really gone above and beyond normal, because it's coursework that she did through Think Tank, and you can see that she's gone beyond what they've just taught and what they've expected from her, and she's gone above that to create something of her own, which is, it's not just special, it's rare that people are willing to put that much effort into something. So I think she's
Exactly.
an excellent showcase candidate. Well done. Good find.
Ah, thank you, thank you. And yeah, that's her another work from Think Tank, from the previous term before mine, where she was making environment. I think it's done very good. I'm not a good. I don't have enough expertise in environment, and that's I think her first job. So actually, I see like a big progress between this piece of art here and this piece of art here. So yeah, Nina Tran is amazing 3D artist, and I wish her all the best in getting her job in this industry.
So for my showcase, I'm going to be starting with my junior because I think my experienced artist is going to segue nicely into an ending. But my junior artist is someone that I studied with at CG Spectrum. It is Shidera Shinadam, and she is from America. Her work is just, it's phenomenal. I don't understand how this girl is a junior anything. She has always been someone that whenever I saw her posting while I was studying, she was studying as well, and she'd post things, and I'd look at her work, look at my work, and just be like, how did she do that? How is she so good? She is incredibly talented. So this is one of her pieces,
That's
which
a
is
really
just,
high level.
it's crazy, right? Look at
Mm-hmm.
this. That's not a concept picture. That is a 3D character. It is just, it's so beautifully and meticulously put together. Every aspect of this is well done. There's nothing that I could fault or flaw or question about it. And it only gets better when you start seeing the close-ups of her work. So she's got some beautiful renders. What fascinated me about this, I love this picture, which is just, I mean, it's the most bizarre thing to choose to
Wow.
render, but the detailing that she's put together, the details of the paw, the coloration, every aspect of this is so lovingly put together. What a powerhouse of a talent. She's just phenomenal. And I'm surprised that she hasn't been snapped up by any studios because it's just beautiful. It's so stunning. And she's a nice person to top it all off. Like, she is the sweetest, kindest person that I've spoken to. She's
Oh.
just incredibly talented. And yeah, like I say, I often, when I'm looking through work, I end up, again, going back to motivation and inspiration. I quite often find myself looking at her stuff because it's so incredibly put together that it's inspiring. It's
A-
really, really inspiring.
And
Look
she
at
has
that skull.
breakdowns.
Oh my God, yes. It's so professionally put together. Every aspect of it is so professionally done. I mean, she puts other juniors to shame with how well she puts her work together. Look at that. It's so good.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a great
And you'll love
example
this.
of
You'll love this. This is her references. Like, it's just nice references.
people references are important.
I knew you'd appreciate this. Look at all these references she pulled. And it just goes to show how much effort and how much thought she's put into the whole process. Like, every single aspect, she's pulled references for everything that she could possibly think of, which it just shows how much she was putting into this piece. So yeah, Shadera, she's an incredible person. She's incredibly modest, unbelievable, too modest. She's incredibly modest. If you're looking for someone to work on a project, oh my God, reach out to her. Her work is fantastic. So she's my junior for the week. She
She's
doesn't know that I'm
amazing.
putting her through this because I think if I told her that I was going to do this to her, she'd ask me not to. Um, Tough luck. I think she's one of those people that honestly, I just think that people need to shout about talent like this, and I would like to shout about her. Her work is incredible. So yeah, go and check her out. She's available up on ArtStation. Go have a look at her work. It is beautiful. She's got many pieces up there. This is just the one piece that she's got, but there are others up there. They all equally, the amount of
Mm-hmm.
detail she puts into her work is just fantastic. So for my established artist, I'm going to jump onto the hype train. And I think everyone has been watching a
Let's do
lot of
it.
Arcane.
Oh,
Everyone has been watching
yes.
Arcane. But again, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper and have a look at some of the actual artists behind the work. Not just, we all know that Fortiche was the studio that put it all together, and Fortiche is amazing, but this is one of the lead character artists from the actual show. So this is Ladislas Gueros, and he's an incredibly talented artist. Obviously, we all know Arcane, but moving beyond that and just looking at some of the other work on his profile, it is so beautifully done. The sculpting is so beautiful. And I think what's really nice is that you can see, even though it all falls within the stylized umbrella, you can see the difference in each of the pieces, the different influences. So his arcane work is entirely different to, his fan art from Overwatch. He's able to adjust and manipulate his style to suit what needs to be done, which is, it's so nice to be able to see that. And each of his characters embodies such a strong personality and their own specific look to them that it's, again, inspiration. If you're feeling like you need some inspiration, go check out his work. It is absolutely phenomenal. And of course, we all love a good look at what's happening in Arcane. I'm
Yeah,
trying
this is
not to look
me.
too hard because I haven't watched the second season yet because I'm waiting for it all to come out.
Yeah,
But
that's
oh
from the first
my
season.
God. Yeah, this is first season art, thank God. I'm really trying not to see second season, but I mean, he's such a talent. He's such a powerhouse. He also features in, I think he features in their actual breakdown. It's on YouTube. I sent it to you the other night, actually. There's a breakdown video of, it's like 5 episodes of a series on how they made Arcane. And I think he's one of the art guys that was chatting during it. When they did the interviews, man, they're such nice people as well. Like, they're incredibly talented artists. They're incredibly influential artists at this point, but they're also just really nice people, which I think that's why I wanted to showcase him is not just for his talent and of his hard work that's gone into the arcane stuff. It's just he's a nice person. Being able to maintain being a good hearted person whilst also being this powerhouse of a creative is it's special. It's nice. I like it.
Exactly.
He's also available on LinkedIn, and I decided to chance my luck and send him a connection. He actually connected with me on LinkedIn.
Oh,
So
cool.
now, so now I've actually got to send him a message to tell him that I think he's very cool. But yeah, go check out
Yeah,
his
why
work.
not?
He's
Why not?
incredible. What an incredible artist.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's a great idea to showcase artists, both
Mm.
established artists and junior ones. And I hope that will also help other people, and maybe you will be next. But anyway, I don't know how you are choosing. I choose artists according to my taste and to
Mm.
my personal opinion, not like it's please showcase me. It doesn't work this way. Yeah, but you can send the link to your artwork on our Discord channel, which is which is mine, which is Anissa Ginjo
Which we will
Art.
make sure is down below for people to join and have a look
Yeah,
at.
yes, and I will leave the link in the description to this video. And again, Heather, thanks a lot for joining the stream today. I
It's
think it was
always
great.
fun.
It was a
Yeah, we
little
didn't
bit
manage to
off
stay on
topic.
topic, but I think it was useful things to cover. Like there's it's such an amazing community of people out there, and I think the general summary is don't be shy to reach out if you're struggling with motivation or inspiration or anything like those. Reach out to other people. There's an entire network. Go on to Discord. There's a lovely community over there. Go hang out on Discord and go chat to people. It helps.
Exactly. You can always text us in Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are always open to chat with artists and just with people, because why not? Artist is not only about art, it's a lot about
Yeah.
personality. And yeah, thank you, and see you in the next podcast.